What's up, YouTube? Today's a good day. I got a lot of stuff done on my Jeep. I didn't get to record it because it's been raining so much and I'm outside working on it. I didn't want to ruin my camera. I got a list here that I've made and I get across a few things off of it. There's a few things left that I have to do in order to ride this thing. So let's show you what I've got done so far. So far, we've made the header, or fixed the header and made it fit. I've made my motor mount. I've cleaned all the rust and got it in primer. I have made the tie rods. So we have 3 things left that we need to do in order to ride this thing. I need to mount my gas tank and run all the fuel lines and hook it up. I need to run my brake lines, and I need to bleed my brakes. After that, I'll have everything done and we can take this thing for a ride. Alright, the first thing I need to do here is take this side off. That way I can actually get to where I'm mounting my gas tank underneath the seat. So we're going to go ahead and get this side off here and out of the way so we can work on it. Alright, I got my tools that I need to mount the gas tank. We need to first mount it. I got to drill and tap holes in my frame. This is my gas tank that I've made. It goes up under the passenger seat. We're going to go ahead and get it mounted and plumb it first, and then we'll do our brake lines and bleed the brakes. I'm using 3/8 bolts, so I have a 3/8 drill bit here to mark my holes with. I'm going to stick it through these tabs that I've made where I want this thing, and that's going to mark the center of my bolt, and then I'm going to step it down to a 5/16 drill bit, which is what I need before I tap my bolts. I'm just using these to mark them, using a 3/8 bit to mark it center. I'm going to use this jack underneath here to hold my tank up while I mark these. Now they're all drilled, we can run our tap through them. What I have here is a tap handle with a 3/8 16 tap. We're going to put 3/8 16 bolts in it. Here are the bolts. There's actually 4 of these that go in there. Tap the holes real quick, hold our tank in. Alright, this is a little trick that I learned bleeding brakes. You take this hose and wrap it around in loops like that. And what it does is it traps the air bubbles. It don't let the air go back in. So if you watch with me pumping, you can see it pumping fluid out. See that air coming out through here? I want to keep doing that till I don't get any more air on both sides. It's actually pretty close. But this is how you bleed motorcycle brakes, four-wheeler brakes, any kind of ATV brakes, by yourself especially. I'm going to close this bleeder up while the hose is still on here. You can hold your hose still and turn your bleeder. There's my brake reservoir. I have not made something to bolt it up yet. It's just zip tied on there, but it isn't going anywhere. I got a hubs off a Yamaha Raptor or Banshee, whatever you want to call them. Brand new calipers I bought in the mail. Ball joints, axle. I just ran rubber brake lines. Pretty much teed it off. That was a piece off a four-wheeler, I think. Just ran the rubber lines, zip tied them, made sure they were out of the way, turning all the way. This is the back pedal, or the back foot lever off the motorcycle. And it actually hooks to this small master cylinder here, it actually makes a perfect little brake. I have not tested it out with these yet. I was using it on drum brakes and it worked fine. So you would think it would work better with disc brakes. There's my fuel tank. Got it all hooked up. If you look underneath here, I have an electric fuel pump coming off the petcock straight over, and that runs up to this T. This goes to the carburetors. This comes from the fuel pump, and this is a return line running back to my tank. And I have this fuel shutoff valve I can open and close to control how much fuel returns, which I just ran it and it seemed like it liked to be all the way open. It likes it all to return. That's where my return line goes, to the top of my tank. And actually, I have a sending unit and everything in this tank. Oh, I gotta cut that out. Crap. Alright guys, I told you I would ride this thing in this video, but my issue is I keep waiting for a good day to go out and ride it and take it out and actually get some good footage, and that's just not happening. So I haven't been recording anything and making content because of that. So I'm going to keep recording and making content for you guys until I get a good day to take it out and go riding. Because if not, I'm going to continue not making videos, and I'm not going to get a chance to ride it where I get off work and have nice weather. So right now what I'm doing is I have the dash laid out here. I'm making a dash for this thing. I have mounted my gauges in it, and right now I'm putting all my switches in it, and then I got to mount the dash up. Alright, I have my dash sitting here pretty much finished. I have the gauges. They actually mount in here. I made this piece that holds it in here. It screws to this. This holds the gauges in. I have these pieces of steel that are screwed to this. So I'll be able to weld pieces off this to the frame of my vehicle, or to my Jeep, and this will be able to bolt in there. So what I'm doing now, before I do that, is I'm deciding where I want all my switches at. I have a start switch, a kill switch, switch for my fuel pump, and a switch for my headlights, and a horn button. Just figuring out what I think is going to look good. I think them 3 switches right there is going to look alright. This coming out of the bottom, and my horn button I'm kind of undecided on. I guess I'm just going to stick my horn button over here. Now I know they're in a straight line, they're spaced evenly, it's going to look pretty uniform. Okay, I just have my dash sitting in there about where I want it. What I'm going to do is have a piece of steel coming off the back of it behind this and down underneath this bar right here, welding. I'm also going to do that on this end of it, the top of the center and the bottom of the center, and that dash should be supported plenty. Alright, I have my dash mounted and my gauges mounted, and I have it all wired now. Alright guys, I finally started tearing my go-kart down to put brakes on it. It was a little cold the other night, and I didn't feel like sitting out there working on the Jeep in the cold. Anyways, this is going to be a separate episode. We're going to get back on the Jeep. It's a little nicer today. I've been waiting for a day where it's nice enough to go ride, and I'm off work and I haven't got one yet. I get off work too late to go ride this thing. I got a good place to take it to, So there will be a video of that coming out here soon. We're just going to get a few more things done on it in this episode. And the next episode will either be the go-kart, getting brakes put on it and getting put back together right, or will be the Jeep out riding, depending on the weather. I'm taking this anvil here and making the fronts of my fenders. That way all I have to do is make my hood and my body will be complete. Basically, this is what I've came up with. I put these pieces of angle iron behind here, put screws through them, stick that on there, and the angle iron will weld to the frame, and this will bolt to it after that, and they'll be mounted. Something that I've noticed here, if you look at these header pipes, all these ones are a tan color, brownish tan, and this one's still gray. Some reason it's misfiring on this cylinder. I've checked the coil and it's not bad. So hopefully that carburetor is just clogged up. I need to take the carbs off and clean them again. I'm not going to be able to take it riding in this video, but I can at least start it for you guys. I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully next couple days it gets a little nicer and I can take this thing out for a ride. Subscribe to see more. If you like this video, give it a like. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.